Goats exist. Goats exist. Goats exist. Oh, 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 oh. Goats exist. Goats exist. Goats exist. Alright, I just drove home and it was horrible because the smell outside, it's like they just put manure down and it's the worst. I'm not even going to describe what it smells like. I was thinking about describing it, but I don't want to gross people out because it's the worst smell I think I've ever smelled in my entire life. So, and I had the windows down. It was a beautiful drive home, and then I smelled this smell and it was just like, it was so awful. But but I know that they provide all the fruits and vegetables and corn and all this, whatever. I don't care. So I got fat. I look like all right, whatever, I guess, when I have clothes on, like when I have a shirt on. But like when I take off my shirt, I'm just like, what is this? Like, what is this stomach thing? Like, what is going on here? I don't understand where it came from. Like, I lifted up my shirt. I used to have this terrible habit of lifting up my shirt and looking at my stomach. I still kind of do, and I just did it at lunch at work. And I was in my car and I like pointed the mirror like down at my stomach, and I was like, what is going on right now? When did I get it? What is this? It's like a floppy watermelon. It's like it's like a watermelon filled up with water. But anyways, so I used to look at my stomach all the time, and maybe I should start doing that again so I could prevent this from happening. I'm pointing at my stomach right now. But I used to lift up my shirt and like stick out my stomach and then suck it back in, stick it out and suck it back in. And I used to work at a pizza place, and I used to do that, and everybody's like, why do you do that? And I'm like, I don't know. It's a habit, and it's disgusting, and I understand that. So one day I got out of my car in a Walmart parking lot, and I was like, oh God, I feel so fat. And there was a truck with tinted windows, or a minivan with tinted windows, and I lifted up my shirt and I looked at my stomach and I was like, oh God, and I like stuck it out, and I'm like, then I sucked it back in, then I stuck it out, and then I sucked it back in, then I started smacking it and like rubbing it around. I was like, oh, look at you, you're so fat. I'm like making fun of myself, and then I didn't realize there was a little old woman on the other side of the window and she was looking at me like, anyways, so that's that. Nothing happened. I just got in my car and drove away, so didn't go to Walmart that day. But last night there was a comedy show, and I don't know when I'm going to release this, because sometimes I record them and then I don't. I'm acting like this is something I've done for years. Sometimes when I record my podcast, but it was Wednesday night. There was a comedy show, and I don't know, man. There was only like 6 people who showed up. And it's the venue holds like 250. It's one of my favorite places to perform comedy. And I don't know how to do crowd work is what I realized. I realized that I don't know how to talk to people off stage, on stage. I just don't know how to talk. I don't know how to say... I think I figured it out, though. This sounds so egotistical, but like I just have like... I think I'm crazy. I think I'm a crazy person, because in my head I'm just constantly like, and then when people talk to me I have to act normal, otherwise I can't live in the society. So I gotta be like, hey, yes, yeah, no, I have a job, and I'm always like giggling and laughing, and people probably think I'm like the weirdest person ever, but really I just want to be like, yeah, and jump up on a table and like rip open my... that's what I wanted to talk about. But all right, first I'll finish this crowd work thing. I don't know how to do crowd work, and I should have done crowd work because there was only 6 people there, and I'm performing like I'm at Madison Square Garden, just like talking at the people, just being like, hey, everybody, have you ever shit? Did you ever fly in a helicopter before? Actually, that would be more crowd work than what I do. I was talking at them. You had to be there. It was just really awkward, and I don't know how to do like any crowd work I've ever done. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? And they're like, good. And I'm like, all right, anyways. And then I go back into my comedy. So, but I did all right, I guess. But it's just I could have done better if I knew how to do crowd work, and that's something I have to work on. I guess I should call this podcast "Shit Joey's Thinking in His Head." But so anyways, there's this movie coming out called Everything All at Once or something like that. I think that's what it's called. And I'm going to tell you why. It looks like a good movie, but I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to see it. It's because I used to say I want to experience everything all at once, over and over again, forever. And I came up with that before comedy, and I would never tell people that now, even though I'm doing that right now. But I came up with that before I started doing comedy, and it was just a way of saying that I just want to experience everything. I just wanted to like rip open my chest and just like burst out, and my whole being just fly over the world and just experience everything all at once, over and over again, forever. And I think I even wrote it in one of my, I like make these little dopey comic book things. I think I even wrote it in there. And then I got interviewed for a artwork thing, and I said that as a for like the newspaper, and I said that as a quote. Oh, I said that as a quote. Do you have any quotes? No, he just in conversation I said that, and then he made it the title of the article. But now it looks like that I'm like such a huge fan of this movie, and I'm hoping, like deep down inside, that somebody who came up with the title of that movie like happened to read the article. That's so fucking like, God, that's so like how my ego must be so big for me to think that. But I'm just hoping like that. I guess it's a common thing that people think of. I'm sure other people. Do you ever do something and you wonder if other people in the world are doing it at the same time? Like I used to wake up really late at night and I would be hungry, so I would want to get a bowl of cereal. So instead of just like sitting down and eating it, I would put the bowl of cereal on the ground, on the floor, and I would put my feet up on the counter, like almost like I was doing a handstand, and I would eat it like with my head, like I was a gymnast. Just because I was like, there's probably nobody else in the world doing this right now, and I was like so obsessed with being original, which is why I'm pissed off about this Everything All at Once. I think that's the name of the movie. But yeah, so fuck them for coming up with my idea. I'm not good at crowd work. I gotta work on that. I gotta work at talking to people in general, because I just have like I don't know, I feel like whenever I feel like I'm in a deep conversation or about to get into a deep conversation, I feel like people are like looking at my face and they're like, ew, why does his lips look weird, and his nose, he's really weird looking. And then I'm like, oh my, then I start thinking about my face, and then I start thinking about my hands, and I'm like, what are my hands doing right now? And I'm like, I don't know what to do with them, so I start like swinging them back and forth, and I'm like, am I standing weird? Is my posture all right? And like, I'm not even paying attention. They're like asking me questions, and I'm just like, hey, yeah. And then, because all I'm thinking about is like how I look to them. And it's just really hard, unless I'm drinking. And then I guess, yeah, I'm a better listener when I drink. So alcohol does do good things for people. But I'm trying to quit drinking, so I guess I'm never going to talk to anybody ever again in my entire life. But yeah, fuck that movie for stealing the title of the quote that I used to say in my head all the time. And I got to work on crowd work. I just said that. But also, I gotta learn to talk to people a little bit better, just to be able to sit down and like have a conversation, and, like look them in the eye. Like sometimes I'll be looking people in the eye and I'm just like, oh my God, I feel like they think I'm in love with them or something. Like as I'm staring them in the eye, I'm like, oh my God, this is like too much eye contact. So then I'll like look down at the ground or at the table, and I'm just like, oh God, now I'm just looking at the ground. They probably think I'm super shy. So then I like look over at somebody else, and I'm like, oh, now they think I'm not paying attention. So it's a constant. There's 8 million people in my head all talking to each other at once, and the conversation is all about like how much of an idiot I am. So I do have confidence, though. It's weird. I have at the same time there's like another 8 million people just like fuck everything. So it's really weird. It's just like constantly conflicting voices in my head. Just I don't know what this is about. I'm probably not going to release this, but maybe I will. Oh yeah. All right, maybe I won't, but I came up with that quote. If you ever see that movie or you see a trailer for it, I came up with that Everything All at Once, over and over. I don't think they say the over and over part, but I made it up. But I hope you enjoy your life. It's Easter's coming up. Happy birthday to everybody whose birthday it is, and anybody who doesn't celebrate Easter, I hope you enjoy your time off if you get time off. And if you don't get time off, then I'm sorry, but happy birthday.